Hello everybody, I'm the Scarlet Derby, and welcome to another episode of the Scarlet Derby streams. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tonight is a very special episode where I give back to the people who have given so much to me over the many years that I have been streaming on Twitch. I'm opening up Mario Paint here. I've got a brand new ergonomic Hyperkin brand Mario Paint retro style mouse, and so I was going to use that in order to make a Mario Paint composition for a couple of my favorite VTubers. Their names are on the bottom half of the screen, GrifNMore and Tessamackyo, which is twitter.com/Tessamackyo. We are going to be doing a fully composed Mario Paint composition of these two characters together. And so this is hopefully going to be the start of a series of streams that I'm going to be doing where I draw VTubers, particularly VTubers that I know. So this is a great new concept for a stream. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Lone Arizona Ranger says, "Good evening, Charlotte Derby. Looking forward to tonight's stream." Well, I am too. And so we're gonna start by drawing a pair of eyebrows here. Alright. And so I'm beginning by doing an outline in just the lightest gray that they provide. And so even with the new mouse, this is, just a little bit touchy. Mario Paint just kind of has a much larger pixel ratio than what my streams have had so far. So, it's a little harder to do things like, it's a little harder to do like angles. Oops. That's probably not very good. So you have to think a lot about, squaring off your art. You have to, work your art, using some very flat angles, some very straight lines. I'm gonna end up drawing all manner of beak shapes before I actually get the right one. Something about the way that this is composed, it just really wants to make a square right in that corner of the lip right there. Let's not have him be so grim. Let's try to work a smile into that. So, alright, so that's the start of his face right there. Okay, way too big. That's a little bit of what I'm looking for right there. So this is just an outer layer, so we'll see how much more sophisticated it gets when we make the whole painting. Okay, so you're gonna want a large torso piece right about here. So we're going to want this arm to extend forward. I'm not entirely sure by how much just yet. Right now I think I'm using the smallest brush and I'm using the largest eraser. So we'll just go ahead and we'll draw that to the corner for now. Something like that there. Okay. So we're gonna put the other figure in now. I think, yeah, so start with the glasses. And maybe I'm gonna put that a little lower as well. My eyes keep getting pretty narrow while I'm doing this. So you really just kind of get used to, you know, drawing in a very blocky fashion when you're in Mario Paint. So I think those are too far apart. There is a tool to fix that, but I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to erase and start over again. This is the sketch, you know. You want to be able to get the sketch in a good shape. I mean, part of working in Mario Paint is, you know, you are partially ignoring the tools that are given to you, and you just kind of try to figure out how to make everything work on your own. I keep confusing the undo button with the eraser button. I'm probably going to be doing that throughout the night. Alright. try to do what I can in order to, shape Tessamack's head, without the lines getting a little too bunched up. Draw just a couple of lines in order to attach her to the wing that I had placed down for Griff, and then I'm going to erase the lines in between. You can't leave this in a sketch and then draw another layer on top, because this is Mario Paint. There aren't any layers. Try to make some shoulders, and then I think that's where her arm is going to be. Oh, I should say there. I'm minding the pronouns, I promise. Alright. Then I want to draw a little space right here. Okay, and she has like a little pink pair of leaves on the top of her head, but we are going to be doing that in this next phase, which is going to be the layer phase. And so let's take a look at our palette. So once again, this is going to be rather limited as well. I think really we just have this 16 colors and then just a few variations on this 16 colors. So that's the thing. The darker purple is going to need to be reserved for the lower part of Griff's body, while as the let's see. So I think we're going to have to settle for probably a lighter blue for his head feathers. And we might want to create a little out the medium brush again. No, I'm not too happy with that. Try to get this down to a solid color and then we can make edits to it. See, what if this were... Oh. What if this were light blue instead of purple? I mean, I could stand to use a few more colors. Pink would be nice. Pink would be a nice color here. Let's put the gray for the belly feathers. Let's try to contrast that. So that, yeah, we'll just have a little bit of that in for contrast. Or now that I'm looking at the picture, it does just kind of seem to have a lighter... Seems to be a little lighter than that, so... What if we try the pattern color? No, absolutely not. For the pattern color, and then we're also light blue. No. So I think I might be limited in the sense, I think I might be limited to using this purple and then, you know, finding something to contrast with the purple down the line. Alright, so... Let's say make the gray brush there. Something I'm probably going to try to do is I'm just going to try to turn this outline, you know, to use this outline in order to darken the eyebrows. But in order to darken the other eyebrows, I'm going to have to erase part of this. Just so that the eyebrow is not connecting. Just a little bit more like that. Then take the paintbrush tool and then just color in the eye outlines. Let's make this gray. Well, now that we're working in grays, maybe I don't want this black line here. I just want it to be the darker gray instead. Which means that this area here is going to have to be white. I'm probably going to have to draw in that black line again. So make sure I have that selected. make those lines there and just make sure that, you know, I'm not, you know, making too many immediate decisions about how I want the lines to contrast and everything like that. It definitely seems like I should put the gray area just around the head, but I'm not entirely sure if that's, you know, where I should place everything. Oh. So now I have everything down to here. I'm probably just going to fill this area right here with color. I'm still not entirely sure about this purple. So I think even if I were just to use this kind of purple, that's a little bit mixed with blue in its patterning, and it's a little closer to what it actually looks like. I still have this selected. I should just get rid of a couple of white spots here. This all needs to be the lighter gray, and then I'm probably going to have to retrace these lines right here in the darker gray. Put that up that way, and then bring it down on this pixel. Well, let's try to do this. Just block off some of the area right here, and then fill in this line. That changes a lot of the line here, but you know, I think that, you know, since I'm going to be using the dark gray as the line throughout the composition, then that's probably the best way to do that. Alright. And then let's just block off this area here. Let's see. Alright. So if I were to fill in the outline around his head, would it only turn black on the outline? Okay, that's good. I need that. I just want to make sure that this area right here around his head feathers is still relatively well preserved. Alright. So now as for his head color, you know, I don't think I like that. Let's try going into the patterns again. don't think there's anything in this palette that actually, you know, appropriately contrasts the purple. I mean, it always just kind of feels as though it's that shade of purple. We're always dealing with that shade of purple. Okay. And so Griff has some dark green eyes. I don't think I need to fill with white, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it for this one. Alright. So also in terms of, you know, my coloration, I only have very bright yellow and very dark orange for the mouth. So I'm going to try doing them both. I'm going to start by outlining in yellow and see if that works. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to do the opposite. Oh. No, I already don't like it. Let's go back to white. Maybe if we got something deeper. What if we tried brown and then orange? Alright, that's a little better. Let me see if we can find like a patterned gray to put in those chest feathers. It's not going to be the checkerboard. It's probably not going to be the plaid either. This is kind of a army color. Entirely sure about that one. You know, they do these patternings in a very funny way where they mix in colors that probably should, that I don't feel should be there, like a lot of oranges, a lot of greens. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. And it's really that his face should be a lighter color, but unfortunately we only have this color of purple, so... And just having added that, you know, I think... There's a part of me that, you know, wants to turn part of the outline black, but I can't do that using the brush tool. I'm going to have to go over it using the marker. So let's start with the easy details, like around the eyes. Whoops. I'm pretty sure I'm using the same size brush. I don't know why it would look any different. Making the area around the eye a little wider. But that's better because, you know, you can actually see more of the eye that way. Now if I could get this pixel perfect on this side. Pretty good. Gonna want some white to put into the ear feathers. I'm probably going to want a little bit of gray in there as well. That looks pretty good. And so I feel I'm going to want some of the black line here. And I also feel like I'm going to want to use this black in order to put some details on its chest, like maybe a few chest feathers, something like that. As a matter of fact, if I'm capable of drawing a frill underneath there, then I would be able to, create something that looks a little bit more like the man himself. So let's some of that. All right. So, if I had a little extra time, I'd probably be using the stamp tool for this, but create some custom stamps, something like that. Okay. So that's a little bit better in terms of filling the outline there. So what if I were just to paint the outline black? I just want to see how that's going to look right about now. That actually looks pretty good. There's a few of these details I'm fussing with, is that I just need to think about, how it looks when you're contrasting things in Mario Paint. Fluffy corner right there, and then we're gonna fill that with to create a little bit of shading. I wish I could do more shading with this composition, but unfortunately the palette is fighting me with that one. Alright. I want to take some of the dark gray outline and then well, it's gonna have to be black because I don't think gray has enough of a contrast. Put a little more detail right about here. Oh. I don't have a darker green, so if I want to put in contrast, I'd have to use a lighter green. Maybe if I use a brown. Nah, I don't think so. Alright. I'll just go ahead and keep it the solid green. Alright. So something I'm going to do really quick, I want to look up a detail in regards to Tessamackyo's eyes. I have to make sure not to confuse my Mario Paint mouse with my PC mouse. So I was pretty sure that her eyes were just kind of like a dark pink color, but once again, you know, I don't actually have a pink, so they're going to have to be this deep purple color. And the thing is that her skin's a lavender color. I don't think I'm going to find something that contrasts in the same way that the lavender color would. You know, if they just gave you more than 16 colors, I'm pretty sure that the Super Nintendo is capable of doing pink. What can I say? I just might have to settle and I might have to do light blue. I'm gonna paint light blue. Just for now. Yeah, I don't feel like that's really there. Let's paint it the same color. And so when I originally drew this, I don't think I did the neckline correctly, so I'm going to have to correct that. At this point, I'm just working with a black outline. I didn't really experiment with Tessamackyo as much as I did with Grif, but and Mr. Breaks. Try to see if I can get this neckline to go a little bit more in the center. That's a little bit harder because in Mario Paint you simply can't control the line as much as you personally would want to. At least for the time being. Alright, how long have we been on? We've been on for like 45 minutes. Here I thought this was going to take longer. I was going to devote the whole 4-hour stream to doing this. Well, that still remains to be seen, you know, presuming that I want things like, you know, background details. Alright. I just make that area a little wider and then fill it in. I'm gonna run into another problem when it comes to her head sprout, because her head sprout is not going to be pink per se. It's gonna be just one of these, you know, strange pattern colors. That doesn't look too bad. And that looks perfectly good for the colors in general, but I would like to add a few details. I would like to put some gray in this lab coat. And so this is going to be a little touchy. Then I'm going to want to take the black, and then I'm going to want to make this corner a little thicker. Oh. I'm going to want to actually select the black and then do that. Alright. Alright. So a bit more gray. Alright. Let's put that, and let's wrestle with the black outline a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna want to single line my way the rest of the way down there. Easier said than done. Alright. And so I wish I could put something a little darker right about here where the arm feathers are, but that's the thing is that I would be pretty hard pressed to find something that would just kind of work in the middle of that pattern. So even when I look at these patterns, I look for another sky blue. This is sky blue mixed with the regular blue, so it's not really going to make anything lighter. This is light blue with the speckles in it. So I'm just kind of scrolling through, you know, the perimeter of, you know, pre-made assets here just to see if I can find some things that will make for a good background. You know, you've got these, you know, speckle patterns that make for good grass and stamps that have flowers in them already. You know. But, you know, this is GrifNMore, and if you've been to their channel, you can be just a little bit more surreal than that. And try the yellow and then a little bit of the pattern this way. And this is the hard part. This is where I've got to try to stop it on the edge. Where it is, the edge is equivalent to the area on the other end of it. Alright. That doesn't look perfect, but I think maybe that's as close as it's going to get. Well, before I start painting the sky, it's probably something I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to, I would like to put a little bit more black right about here, right where the head, right where Tessa's little head bob is. I can give that just a little bit more of the necessary contrast it needs. You know, add some lines to that so that it'll have more of a shape. Back to black. Trying to cover up all of one spot right here. And the paintbrush just fights me the whole time. Alright. Just want to delete that because it's just really too far out in terms of and so there's a little more detail I want to put in with the black marker on Tessamack's glasses, because now that I notice it, she has those Buddy Holly frames. So I just want to make sure that I include that. Oh, I said she. I should have said they again. I apologize for that. I've never been the best at pronouns, but you know, I try really hard because I know how important it is to people. I don't know if they ordinarily have their glasses stick out in that direction, but I'm gonna draw it that way. And another nice detail would be just if I were to put a little bit of blue right about here so that there can be a bit of a sheen in the glasses. Say the little bit of extra tail on the blue looks good on the right, so so I'm gonna put it on the left as well. Maybe that's my left and their right, something like that. All right. This is going supernaturally well. I would go as far as to say a lot quicker than I even expected it to be, but 90 minutes, otherwise people are going to feel like I'm intentionally cutting my stream short again. Alright. So what was I looking at? I for Sky, I think, you know, GrifNMore, thank you very much for tuning in. So GrifNMore is one of the two VTubers that I am rendering in Mario Kart tonight. So go ahead and check out his channel. They were last doing art. And Tessamackyo is here too. Thank you very much for your follow, Tessamackyo. And so I almost have this wrapped up. It's just a matter of, you know, me picking out what I'm going to do with Sky. And so I was just going to try a few stamp patterns out right now. Well, you know, there are a lot of rainbow swatches in Mario Paint. Let's save that for, you know, just half a second. One thing I want to see is that, you know, I know that I can add dots here, but after I do add dots to a pattern, is it possible for me to actually fill those dots with color? Yes, it is. Okay, so let me get rid of the blue, and I think if I were to... So, that's a rather serendipitous addition to all of this. You guys are all using emotes. Did I accidentally leave the room in emote only chat? Let me take a look at that. No, emote only chat isn't on. I just want to be absolutely sure that it wasn't. So yeah, one of the ways I'm going to be putting in color is I'm probably just going to be patching in a different you know, different shades of blue with the background here. So making it a slightly patchwork sky. And so I want the sky blue checkerboard to be somewhat represented here. Let's go back to blue. I'm gonna take some of the blue and just fill in the space right about here. So one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that, you know, a little bit more of this dot pattern is in here. I just fill up everything from this point, this corner to this corner, and then let's fill that in with the light blue again. Alright. So I think there's a section here. I'm probably just gonna rub this out because I think that's just a line too far right in that corner. See, if I use the pattern brush here, am I going to get the exact same dot pattern? That's my next little curiosity. Yeah, I pretty much do. Well, I'm going to rub off this top half too then, and then just make sure that the rest of the sky uses the exact same patterning. We're trying to make this high contrast, but we're also just trying to make this, you know, relatively reasonable looking. It actually looks like a composition, and I'm no longer 12. I'm no longer 12 and playing Mario Paint and just playing with all the snap tools. See, this is a little bit, I gave myself a little bit of confusion here because this looks like it is another white on black pattern, but when you actually fill it, you know, you can see that it is actually a black on a white pattern, and so that is not suitable for my needs. It's not necessarily what I'm trying to do here. would be great if you can change the color of all these dot matrices and things like that, because you could work something out where, you know, you actually lay out a dot patterning and then you follow that up by and then you can use that in order to create, you know, some Dali-esque high contrast dot matrix kinds of drawings. But unfortunately, this is not that sophisticated. So I'm trying to drop out some areas using eraser at this point, so that, you know, I can just create a few more abstract shapes in the background and make it look like they're actually areas that belong in the background. See if we can find some pattern swatches that we can use to fill that in. Let's try those lines again. Oops. So it bled a little bit too much into Tessa's shirt there. I think there's some areas that I need to close. I am not unlike a person like Dali or maybe Roy Lichtenstein by taking a 30-year-old art program for a console and attempting to create some new art within it. And so if these things weren't, you know, just black, then you wouldn't have a situation where they are merely interfering with what else already exists in the composition. And so this ends up being a type of, you know, graphic art that, you know, people don't even really know how to do anymore, because it's been a long time since anybody who, working in graphic art has actually had to do everything on a single layer, for example. You know, we're spoiled by our Photoshops and the like, but, you know, always had a certain admiration for our Mario Paint. You know, if you just hear yourself whispering the tune to Mario Paint to yourself when you're doing your Photoshop compositions, then you probably know what I'm talking about. I could go back and I could use the line tool for this, but the line tool is for quitters. The line tool is for filthy casuals. Alright. you find it's hard just to put black line into this because then, you know, you see those lines end up, you know, connecting with the lines that are in the dot matrix background, and it creates a funny kind of contrast. Alright, so it's a little bit of a desiccated building in the background there. I think I'm going to pick out a color like orange, and then I'm going to tint these areas so that you can tell that that belongs to a different part of the background. Ugh, that there is a yard too far, isn't it? Here I have to do, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use the paintbrush tool to find 4 very specific pixels, and that's probably, yeah, that's probably nigh on impossible. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you grip the mouse with 2 hands and you just kind of push it up 1 pixel at a time, then you'll be able to do that. I'm gonna start, you know, taking a few shapes out of the backdrop, turn some of this back to solid blue, and those will be representative of like clouds. And so the way that, you know, you end up removing dots, this was probably something that was pretty ingenious about the program of the time, is that you can actually see that the dots always disappear in whole form. So you're not taking too much out of the background when you're filling something else in. So let's find some stamps. Of course, we're not going to be putting the copyrighted ones in, you know. We're not creating NFTs here. So there's a part of me that has always rather resented the fact that this fish right here has legs. Which one of these was the actual stamp tool? Is it this A? No, that's for text. Although it might as well be the same because you only apply stamps using text. Oh yeah, it was the Mario head. And it's always said to be the Mario head, even though it is clearly the Luigi head because it turns green when you click on it. Alright. Let's put a few evolved fish here. And so the way stamps are made, they're made by a single pixel point process, so a significant amount of them have a higher contrast than what you can typically do when you're simply using the paintbrush on your own. Let's see if we can find a few birds. Oh, well, there's a flying saucer. If this is a composition with Tessamackyo, then it definitely needs a flying saucer or two. Let's put maybe about 4. And they're all surrounding our head there. What can I give that is very distinct to GrifNMore? I mean, there's some nice pencil ones, but something that certainly belongs in the air. You know, there's an empty space right there, and I just want to fill it with one more flying saucer. If I can find them, I don't know where I left them. There's a section there where you build your own house. I'm more than likely going to be using that one in the composition in the future. So some basic 3D shapes, some basic geometric shapes as well. Okay, like right about here. Yeah, I can't think of anything else, so I'm going to use the flying pencils. I could have potentially made them into spires in the background as well, but... Alright. This by itself starts to begin to create its own patterning. And you look at it, then you see an area or two. There are a few mounts here. I probably should have set the mounts in the background, but oh well. I'm really digging the lo-fi music. Yeah. So this is just a lo-fi music playlist that's provided to me by gosh, what is the name of the website? Slip.stream. And so I just kind of use it for all of my non-DMCA triggering sounds. And so I'm not entirely sure that there's anything else I can add, but, you know, there is, you know, there's definitely not much room for anything else. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and let's take away the background, and then I can go ahead and I can move over to another part of this, so that I can eventually be able to put this on, be able to make a still out of this and then send it to GrifNMore and Tessamackyo. So, let me see. I need to take my game capture. I need to copy that, and then I need to paste it in this recording section. Surprised I didn't do that earlier. There we are. And so we are going to hold on to this image for a little bit, and, you know, we are going to just have a little bit of liberal chat here so that we will be able to save this as a still for later and then give it to the people who created it. And so this went by just a little bit more quickly than I had thought I would. I definitely thought I was going to be on longer doing this. Tessamackyo is giving applause, and I definitely appreciate that. And so, I really do like. I've been streaming for maybe about 3 years. It's kind of hard to tell because my old VODs have been deleted at this point. But I think every step of the way, GrifNMore and Tessamackyo have always been there with their channel, providing me with original creative ideas. They have been giving me a lot of, very useful advice regarding the, how to work with my VTubing skills, do things that would improve my that would improve my channel, and they've been very useful. They've probably been two of the most influential people in regards to how I have put together my channel. The other one has been Melly Bear, which is, let me give her a shout out. And so Melly Bear, mostly she introduced me to Adobe Character Animator, which is what I use in order to make my avatar. And so I've branched out since then. I've worked on 3D avatars, and right now I'm in the process of learning how to make avatars in Live 2D. So I am grateful to GrifNMore and Tessamackyo and the community that surrounds them. They have gone above and beyond when it comes to helping me to develop myself creatively, and they've made a lot of contributions to this channel. So I was very glad I was able to get on and develop this very high concept process through which I would develop fan art for them. So thank you very much for always being there, and thank you for providing a great forum for VTubers like me in order to make a more dynamic and more creative channel. So this has been a VTuber Mario Paint experience, and so I'm probably going to be doing at least one of these a week in the future, and I'm going to be featuring different VTubers every single time that I do it. So just continue to stay tuned. Is that I have a copy of Mario Paint now, and I've got a brand new laser guided Super Nintendo mouse, and I'm just raring to draw my favorite YouTubers in this very high contrast primary colored format in the future. So thank you. So we're beginning to wrap up here. So thank you everybody once again for tuning in to the Scarlet Derby streams. Once again, I'm the Scarlet Derby. I'm the superhero of yesterday, star of multiple comic books and light novels. You'll be able to find everything I'm responsible for on my website, which is thescarletderby.com. I also have a Twitter. Be sure to follow my Twitter because I think I'm still going to continue to be doing streams in the evenings throughout the month of January. So if I have streams that are not on my regularly scheduled nights of Friday and Saturday night, be sure to look on the Twitter page to see when I'm going to be doing another stream. So thank you absolutely everybody for tuning in. You guys have been a fantastic audience. I really appreciate that so many of you were kind enough to tune in to this very high concept and experimental stream that I was doing tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to be finding someone to raid on Twitch, but for everybody that is on Facebook and YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. Ta-ta until Monday.